Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Just Joe football show. I was going to miss an evening instalment tonight, and not really much happening since this morning. But then I thought, do you know what? Let's have a chat with Lockie. Andrea's still working, unfortunately, but he would be here if he could. But listen, what we're going to talk about, obviously, there's three players, if you like, that are high-ticket items, I would say. You could maybe throw in Melier, but that's only because we've seen a £20 million conversation before that. I don't think any of us considered him high-ticket item. So the three that we've got is Rutter, Gnonto and Somerville. We're going to have a chat about them and who we believe will leave, or will they? I mean, maybe they won't. Maybe Lockie's got a different opinion to me. But first and foremost, Lockie, let's chat about your star boy, Gio Rutter, because we all got a bit of a shock yesterday when we seen Brighton had tabled a £30 million bid for him, which was rejected straight out of hand. But who knows? They might come again. But what are your initial reactions to that news when it broke?
I can't lie, John, my heart sank a little bit. It genuinely did. I just think he's still very raw, of course, but he's so unique in this league. You know, you've got, like, I'm not saying he's better than these guys right now, but you look at Somerville, who is an unbelievable player, but he's a quick winger who can cut inside and have a shot. Rutter is everything the Championship hasn't got in say, he's got the physical side of it as well. He's absolutely massive. He's quick. He's direct. You can see players in the Championship every year who do ridiculously well, but none of them are like Rutter. I genuinely don't think I've seen one as unique as him. You know what I mean? So for me, mate, his ceiling is still the highest in our squad. I don't think it's close. Yeah, it's ridiculous. He just needs to clean up a few bits. I was gutted, mate. We need to keep him. He's the main one for me. Build a team around him, genuinely.
Well, let's be honest. When Brighton come knocking for a player, they know a player, don't they? They know a player when they see one. Yeah,
that's it. And last season, like he started. He didn't the first few games. He weren't great, but he was still acclimatizing. That middle kind of 3 to 4 months, he was unplayable. Yeah, he was absolutely unplayable. And to the end of it, he tailed off a bit, but so did a lot of our attacking players. Of course, they did. But now he's got that in the locker. I just want to see him next season. I think he's going to be an absolute joke. I think
it'd be even better. Do you think he'll come
well,
on
looking at his stats, Joe, and obviously his assists are a joke. I know you mentioned it earlier in your stream. Everything is ridiculous. The one thing he's massively lacking in is the finishing. So his expected goals last season were 14 and he got 6.
Okay.
Right. That is bad. That is bad. So if he cleans that up even a little bit, it can get double what he got. Yeah, look at 12, 15 goals, something like that. It's keep Rutter, please. Is my plea.
I think you bang on the money as well with his finishing, because if he cleans that, he's like the complete player. Like, you're talking a lot of money, a lot of money.
I was watching some more Hoffenheim clips of him playing Hoffenheim for my video I did the other week.
He played a lot on the wing, right?
Yeah, so he played at the front too, but predominantly most of his attacking play was out wide. So he'd either be out wide creating it, or he'd be central in the box. And he scored a lot of goals in the box. He scored a lot. Most of his goals came from in the box, apart from the 2 that went round when we signed him, that both went top corner from edge of box. So, but I'm looking at the way he kicks the ball, the way he finishes, and it's different technique to what he's using now. So I genuinely think there's something there that's changed. Maybe it is that injury. Maybe it is confidence in front of goals still lacking a bit with that crowd. I'm not too sure, but I watch him when he strikes it in the Bundesliga, and the way his finishing was so clean, his shooting was clean. So there's definitely something there, I think, for sure. But wherever he plays this year, mate, for me, it's build a team around him. Because like I said, there's no one, whoever you bring in, there's no one going to be as good as what he can be. No one. I think build around him.
If Dan James can improve his finishing, then best believe Gio Rutter can as well. Right. Because we were all, well, not everyone, but I was one who wrote James off as a busted flush. A lot of money spent. Yeah. No real success in the Premier League. Went to Man United, had been at Fulham on loan, didn't do much there. Came to the Championship, knew he would improve, but still felt his finishing's lacking. And he had a great season. So if Rutter can have a similar type of improvement going into next, then like you say, you're looking at dare I say a world beater, but a definite championship
at this level,
beater.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mate, It's ridiculous. Like, he is that cheat code because there's no player, no team in this league is going to sign a player remotely like Georginio,
No.
like in any way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see players like him around Europe going to decent sides and topping
Of course.
or something like that. So keep him for this year. And honestly, mate, I just think you build around him because I think he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like
Where
you
do you
said,
see? Where do you see his? Where do you see his future at Leeds in terms of positionally? Because Graham Smith did a good article earlier on and mentioned about maybe Leeds United looking at another 10 as well as wingers, just in case others go, and we'll get onto them in a sec. But could we see Rutter go back out wide if Aronson's going to play in a central space, or if we're going to go and try get another, another number 10? Could we see Rutter play more out wide, do you think, next season?
It's an interesting question, that. I've been thinking about it for a while. Honestly, I don't actually know what Farke will do. But I think, as I said, I think it's a matter of wherever he plays, it's about the role he has. I don't necessarily want him, because I looked at it last year, and at the second half of the season, when he got the ball, he was in very tight central spaces. And Rutter likes space. You know, when he's at one-on-one with anyone, he'll beat them, even 2-3v1 at times.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But when it's in tight spaces, because he is quite big and leggy, it's quite tough to really control that ball the way he wants. So I think whatever he plays, whether that is on the right, the left, the central, even the 9, his role is the team has to find a way to give him space because we want him in space. Like I said, Hoffenheim, when he used to come on or play there, he did play. They played 5 at the back. They had 2 up front, but the guy up front was central, and Rutter would be all across. It'd be central. Wherever the space was, he was there. And that's the role I want for him at Leeds. And like I said, Joe, I was watching, he scored, I think it's 4 or 5 headers in the Bundesliga from in the box as well. How many times has he really had the opportunity at Leeds? Yeah, he was a good poacher. He was. Yeah. At Hoffenheim, his XG was similar to his goals. So he was performing there in terms of goal scoring. So, yeah, he's one of them, mate. I think at the end of the day, at this level, you could play him anywhere. As long as you have a team around him that brings the best out of him, it kind of don't matter because he's a bit of a free player. I think he plays wherever he feels. Do you know what I mean? So we need him in spaces, mate. To vaguely answer that, I think we need him wherever the space is. We need to say, look, Georgie, we'll create space here. Make sure you're in it. Yeah. And then everyone's in trouble, aren't they? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, though. It'll be interesting to see.
He will also be marked now. His card will be marked by opposition. You know, Somerville's were towards the end of the season, and you know, we just have to hope, because I guess in a way, they could double up on Somerville, but we still had other great players. Now we might lose a few, and they might be a level below the players we bring in, probably, you would imagine. So he has to contend with that as well, because, you know, I think sometimes he did get a few kick-ins last season, but naturally that's going to come in the Championship, physicality, so he'll have to be wary of that as well, I think. But, you know, if someone put a gun to your head, right, and of the 3 that we're going to talk about, would he be the one that you would say no to, first? Would he be the one that you say, I'm happy to let Somerville go, I'm happy to let Gnonto, you've just got to keep Rutter?
Yeah.
In your opinion?
For me, mate. If you'd told me at the start of last season, honestly, it'd probably been Somerville who would have kept. Left, straight away. Yeah. But obviously, we didn't have this Championship season, but going on last year, and this is all you can really go on, out of the 3, Gnonto had the least effective season. He did. He was so good in times, obviously. He's Willy Gnonto, he will be. But for the whole season, I think them 2 were better. So, yeah, I'd keep Rutter at any cost. I just think the thing with Somerville, mate, and he is a ridiculously good player. That's what he is. But one thing he struggled with was when they were doubling up on him, he hasn't got that kind of creative freedom mind that Rutter has. So he will stay out wide. He doesn't really drift. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And whether that's instruction or not, Rutter will do it, for better or for worse. And sometimes you need that. And I look at Daniel Farke's systems in the past, and you had Buendia, Cantwell, who would both just drift if they were being marked. Because then who's marking them then? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, for me, look, if we could keep them all, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? But we're not going to, are we? So definitely Rutter, I think. And then, like you said, I think there's more there, a lot more there with him.
Yeah, there's a lot more for him to grow, isn't they? And like you say, if he starts finishing, wow, it'll be
even
crazy.
a little better, Joe. Even just gets it a little better. Do you know what I mean? You can get maybe 10 something goals with similar assists.
And even if we have if we have a killer up top who finds the back of the net on a regular basis next season, he's going to be laying on all sorts of assists for them, isn't he? So
great, mate.
Yeah, I think he will. Are you concerned about him leaving at all? Do you think? I don't think the club will sell him. I think they'd be stupid.
My brain isn't, but I'm always a little worried because I didn't think we were going to lose Archie. Originally, I did. Exactly. I remember we did a stream. Originally, I was worried we'd lose him. I remember saying on here, I was like, I think he might go. But then I kind of came out the fact that I think we'll be all right. And he did go. So I think we might be all right.
If someone puts an astronomical bid, sometimes you just can't say no, can you? You know what I mean? They've started with 30. They've started with 30. They might go to 40. You never know. And then
then the club will be like, oh, that's a lot of money. But I honestly, mate, keep him. I think we've got enough assets in Gnonto and Somerville who we know with Gnonto, he doesn't necessarily love being here. He wants to play in the Premier League, and I'm not thinking for that. Of course he does. So does Somerville. Maybe Rutter does as well, but we've seen that Gnonto took some action to not do that. So I don't know, mate. I keep Rutter, please.
I think the important thing that came out from Graham Smith's article earlier on as well, Lockie, was that Leeds don't have to sell. Leeds are in a very strong position. But if any player comes to them and says they want to leave, then we'll have a look at it. But I don't see Rutter being a player that wants to leave. He just looks so happy at Leeds United now. I think out of the three on the thumbnail, he'd be the least likely that I'd expect to go knocking on the door saying, I want out, you know?
You'd assume so. I think the thing with Rutter is he learned a lot last season. And he knows that he'll play every game and he'll be a big player for us, right? And he's, 21? Yeah. So he knows whatever happens next season, and hopefully we go up to the Premier League, he'll either be a Premier League player who will be ready at the end of next season. He will be. Maybe not now, but end of next season will be. Or he will get a bigger move if he has a good season. He will. 100%. So for him, I think...
Go on.
I was going to say, for him, it's a good thing to stay for one more season. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really don't.
I was just going to add, plus he's got his horse, hasn't he? So he'll have to, make a decision there.
Been doing his fishing and everything. I know it's hilarious.
Exactly. DLR Fabrications, big up, mate. He says, James on the left, Aronson on the right. Rutter central, Joseph up front. No defence will be as quick as that. They won't know what's hit them.
Scary, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even the rotations in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm yawning, man. Do you know what I've done today, bro? I've swam. I've been to the gym. Nice. I've been on the stepper and I've been on my bike. So I'm absolutely buckled. Yeah, because I went to the gym on my bike and wow. So I'm done in. But hey ho, we're here. Thank you very much, Fabrications, for your super chat, mate. So Crescencio Somerville. I think the whole fan base was in agreement that he would leave. Yeah. Like you said, someone decided on Gray. Turns out Gray's been the first to go. Cree's still here. A lot of Leeds fans think because Gray's gone, that means Somerville's staying. Where do you stand on it initially?
I'd still assume he'd go. I'm still 98% he's going. You know, the fact that we're in the driving seat will make it more difficult for teams. There'll be an obvious value there that they have to pay, or we won't sell him. You know, if Cree wants to go, which I'm assuming he will, and rightfully so, it was ridiculous last year. I don't want him to play the championship if I'm his part of his camp. You know what I mean? So, but there'll be a fee, mate, and like Graham said in the thing, there's a fee there, and we know that we don't have to sell now. Yeah. So teams will have to pay it. That's my only thing. That's all I've said all summer. There's a fee, and they'll have to pay it. I think they will. I think big teams will pay that, but whatever that is, I don't think we really know yet, do we? I imagine around 35-40 million, which is a lot of money.
I think it could be close to 40, closer.
Yeah, and that's a big fee for a winger that's not...
If they'd have bid prior to the thing, I think there'd have been a conversation there, but now that Leeds United are in a strong position, I think they'll demand 40. I do.
And at the end of the day, they've got to pay it, and if they pay it, he'll leave, and I wish him all the luck, honestly. I saw someone say in the chat, I can't remember the name, apologies, about how they let these three let us down. I think I think they were bad for about 4 or 5 games.
Someone said that now?
Yeah, a bit earlier when I was talking about Rutter. These are humans. They're not going to be robots. They're not going to play 46 games ridiculously well. Yeah. No attacker does in any league. Even the best players.
We wouldn't even be in that position if it weren't for these three. So I don't even know what that's. But yeah,
I get we have a high standard here, but we have to be realistic as well. Not every player is, especially ones that have not played at this level. 46 games is like any other league in the world. It's ridiculous. So I think ideally, you want them all, don't you? Because whoever you bring in isn't going to be as good as them. But yeah, Somerville was ridiculous, mate. I obviously I think he's going to go.
Same.
And yeah, because he deserves it.
On a percentage wise, how because I'm like 95% he'll go. Yeah. Like I'm
95, 98.
Yeah, he's going.
It is one minute. Like
yeah.
He might get to the end of August and we're going, we're still here.
Yeah. Well, we thought that was Sinisterra, bro, and then he went actually on the last day, didn't he? For God's sake.
We need to learn from that because we thought he might stay, didn't we? We were all like, oh, he's here, he might stay.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine we'd have kept him. He'd have probably got injured anyway, wouldn't he?
But hey, played. True.
No, he wouldn't have played. You're right. But Somerville was, best player in the league. Yeah. I think the fact that the clubs that are being mentioned are your PSGs, your Liverpools, Chelseas, and even if he doesn't make that move, for a fact clubs that are lower down the pecking order will still come as well, right? Like,
I mean,
go on.
We know Brentford have got 40 million, so
100%.
They might need a winger. People say, why would he go to Brentford?
What about Crystal Palace as well? With Elise out.
Elise's
Eze could go. Yeah, Elise's gone.
Is that gone?
Elise's gone, yeah.
So the cash there. Eze
and they love the championship for players, by the way, the Palace. So.
Yeah, so Glasner's a great coach as well. I like that.
Yeah.
There'll be options. I think it might drag on a bit. I do think it might go on for the right club who pays that money. But I'm assuming he'll leave, definitely.
Yeah. And do you think, like, I know he said he's not going to force his way out or out, but if a club like that comes, he's going to go to the club and say, look, you need to let me go here.
But I think, 100%. But again, I think all these players now, with the Gnonto situation, all these players who are contracted to Leeds, the owners will have told them,
doesn't work as well, right? Exactly.
The owners will have said, look, this is your value. We will let you go, as it was said earlier in an article, right? That if they want to go, we'll talk about it. But there'll be a fee. And if the team's not paying it, you're not going. Exactly. And they have to accept that they're contracted to us and that's the ownership we have. So all he can do if that happens is play well and his value will go up and we'll be in the Premier League and he'll have nothing to worry about. So but I think he will, mate. I think someone will pay it. I do.
Yeah, I do as well. To be honest, even though he's been linked to these big clubs, I could see him at a Palace. I genuinely could.
I think he'd tear it up.
Yeah.
And the Glasner as well. I think it'd be I think it'd be a great move for him. Sorry, I'm not selling him off here. It'd be a great move for him to stay as well. But he's very good, isn't he? He's someone that...
See, a lot of people disagree with me, but I genuinely think he could even do a job though at Chelsea. He could do a job at Liverpool, to be honest, mate. Especially under Slot as well. Having I don't know if he would have played under Slot at Feyenoord, but obviously he'll be aware of him. The only thing is, though, these links, you see, like Liverpool want Anthony Gordon, for example. Well, he ain't going to get past Gordon, is it?
I think Somerville, for them top teams, I think he might be maybe 2-3 on the list. Because obviously Anthony Gordon's a better player right now, isn't he? He's done it in the Premier League, obviously. But I think if they can't get their targets, the top targets, or they're out the price range, Somerville will be kind of that second tier where, we'll go for this guy, a bit more of a project. Bit cheaper compared to them bigger guys, but then you have like teams like Palace and stuff who later on in the window will be looking at their squad after they've lost these good players potentially and go, right, we need that top championship talent, like Eze was, Elise, like you said, they all came from the championship. So I think he'll go. I'm not sure where, but wherever it is, I think he'll do well. I think he's a really good player. He's got a better mentality when a team's winning. He's a good member to have of a winning side. A lot of players thrive in kind of down situations, but Somerville's a winner. He plays well in good sides, I think. So if he goes to a top team, he'll love it there. Yeah.
I think this is a bit of a wild take, Adam. You'd like him to learn a new... Bro, no championship defender could stop him scoring when he cut in on his right. Like, he doesn't need to learn no other way, man. Trust me. And he scored all sorts of goals, man. It's just, I don't know about that. I wouldn't say he got found out. It was a long old season. He got doubled up on a lot. We were doing the same things. We didn't really have the personnel within the squad to be able to switch it up, ideally. It just listen, from the turn of the year, we were absolutely phenomenal, and it was always going to be hard to keep that up right until the end of the season. Unfortunately, the team we played in the final as well, Russell Martin has Daniel Farke's number, and sometimes their managers have that. His system, we just couldn't get past it on 3 occasions, so he knew how to do that. But Somerville will go on, and he will do great.
I think so too.
Let's talk about Gnonto, mate, because Gnonto's an interesting one. And the reason I say it is because Leeds will want still a big fee. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's worth the fee this season that they'll command. Let's say they still want 30.
Yeah.
No one's going to pay 30 for Gnonto, I don't think.
No.
He's still under contract. He knows if he tries to push anything through, he's going to get kiboshed anyway. I think there could be a possibility that Gnonto stays and he plays on the left next season. I'm more certain. I'm 50-50. Look, I'm 95% Somerville goes. I'm 95% Rutter stays. With Gnonto, I'm in the middle because I'm like, look, everyone mentions Italy. No one, and I mean no one in Italy, is paying 30 million for Willy Gnonto. They haven't even got that cash to do that. Trust me. The only way it goes is if it's in the Premier League. And I think Leeds will price any club out of a deal for him.
Yeah. I've been thinking with Gnonto because, like you said, who's paying it? Because what didn't help Gnonto was he didn't have an unbelievable season in the Championship. Oh. If he did, we'd be talking about him for 40 million now. We would, because he can do that as well. He's that good.
Yeah, of course.
But the start didn't help.
He started the season great, by the way.
But the first game against Cardiff, he was good. He was up front then as well. He played well.
Yeah.
And then obviously the start with his problems where whatever happened, he didn't play the game, refused to play whatever, didn't play, couldn't get back in the side because Dan James was doing really well, and Somerville on the other side was doing really well. So then he had a few months on the bench. And these top teams are looking at you. You can't watch him. He's not playing. So that affected him. So who's going to buy him? Like Andre's been telling us, Italy don't have the cash.
No, they don't. And do you know when that story came out about Nottingham Forest, 17 million, Leeds won't sell him for 17 million. Not by any stretch of the imagination. No. Too low.
I think it's between 20 and 25-ish.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
But that's it, mate. I'm thinking about it now. Because it's no international year. No. We know that Gnonto, like he said, he wants to be part of that Italy squad. That's his goal. It's a non-international year, which means there's no international tournament at the end of next year. So is a year in the Championship developing and getting the numbers that your best mate Cree got last season a bad thing? Because he can do that, like you said, from the left for me as well. I think it'd be ridiculous. He can do all those things that Cree did, I think. He can cut inside and shoot. He's got all that. Is that a bad thing? It'll increase its value. We might have the top tier teams after that season. Yeah. We might be in the Premier League with him. I don't think it is.
If we're looking at James, Rutter, Gnonto, and Aronson, that's really good, bro.
I know we're like, because we're
and then we could go get Liam Miller for 4 million, 3 million. You're looking at there. You're thinking no one can chat to us. No one.
No, it's not, mate. That's a good front four, isn't it? And you've got to remember, and I believe this, I think for Rutter's case and Gnonto's case as well, if they did stay, I think they'd be better this year.
Yeah.
They'd be more experienced of what's to come in the league. You know, they've got more time with Daniel Farke. Gnonto on the left, we saw him do it in the Premier League, destroy Premier League fullbacks.
Yeah, he did.
Imagine him in the Championship.
We were Gnonto FC, weren't we, for a period?
Yeah,
we were that good. We
relied on him a lot. We did. It's just, look, at the end of the day, if someone pays the fee, whatever that is, we don't know, but like you said, I'm assuming it's around 20, 25, probably 25, I'm guessing. Yeah. If someone pays it, it'll go, and again, good luck to him, but I think there's less chance of someone doing that than the Somerville one because of the season he had last year.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm probably 70% he'll leave, to be honest. I think it might be a late one as well, a late one in the window. Maybe some teams miss out on their targets. But yeah, I think regardless, we need to be ready and prepared as a club for this to happen to the very last day. 100%. So if he does go 2 days before deadline, we're ready. We can get someone in a target.
Yeah. It's quite interesting that Brighton have gone for Somerville, being told no, then gone for Rutter, being told no. They might have a go. They might have a go at Gnonto next, mate. You never know, do they? They genuinely might have a go at Gnonto next, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah,
what's Chat's? I don't know. Do you think Chat think he'll stay? It's a tough one with Gnonto, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is, because it all depends on what people put in for him.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a huge sell-on clause as well that's been put into it. So you know, there's that to think about as well. Were you surprised? Just to go off piste a bit, and I suppose actually just while we're on the wingers, in Graham Smith's piece earlier on, he did say that Leeds United are extensively looking at wingers. So that's clearly an area of the pitch that they're looking at because they're aware that these lads could go. Yeah. And maybe that's why the links to Liam Miller have come. But I guess they probably won't want to push the button on Miller if these lads do end up staying, you know?
Well, if they both stay, which, probably won't. But if they did, you've got them two. And again, Dan James on the bench, which seems really harsh, doesn't it? But, you know, that's ridiculous. I still think one more would be all right, you know, for the other side. So I like two wingers. Maybe Rutter again can play out there, like you said. So 100%. So yeah, look, I hope Gnonto does stay now. Honestly, end of the season, I was like, yeah, he can go now. But I just imagine him on that left in the Championship. If he stays, I'm assuming he'll have learned from the things of last year. He'll have learned from the mistakes he made, even near the end of the season. We need a more mature player at times. We do. He needs to. That's something he needs to learn as a young man, and he's a young man. But that maturity comes into it a little bit more. He's an unbelievable asset for you to have in this league, especially from the left, which he is much better in my opinion. But if he goes, mate, like you said, I think we're ready. I think we're prepared for it by what's been said.
Yeah. I do just think as well from a PR perspective, everyone would be okay with Gnonto Somerville going. Rutter we would not be okay with. No. And I think they'd have another meltdown a la Gray, and everyone would be like, these owners are shit. Like genuinely, it would go. Honestly, it would, because, you know, even in the Inside Ellen Road pod earlier, Joe said like they were all led to believe that we were okay financially, and then with which the pace with which the Grey deal got done, it's clear that we weren't. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's coming from the YEP and obviously the YEP had the issue with saying, is he going to Brentford? And they were like, what are you talking about? And then half an hour later, they went, yeah, he is going to Brentford. So there's clearly things that we're not privy to at the club, and they like to keep it all to the chest. But if they were to then, like, there's already people sceptical, and then if you throw in, you know, Rutter being sold as well, I think we're all accepting of Gnonto and Somerville probably going.
Yeah.
But not Rutter. Don't do Rutter. That would be suicide from the owners, I think, personally.
No, you can't. Oh, mate, it's just so unique to that league. There's nothing like him in there.
And everyone loves him, don't they? And he
that's it.
So
he's in the behind the scenes from yesterday.
Yeah, man,
he just walks in and just says hello really loudly.
Hello, Leeds fans.
The energy that you need in a team is so important to a side. Play like that. Every club, or most clubs that are best to be around, have a player like that in, and they're the best. They really are.
What did you make to the Kamara stuff? Leeds United don't want to sell. A lot of Leeds fans were ready to sell him, which I thought was wild.
Mate.
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't have any midfielders on the bench in the playoff final, and they want to sell him. But yeah, like, and they've tweeted a picture of him today as well. So I don't think Kamara's going anywhere either. And the article did say he's happy with the spine of his team. Farker is, and that's like your goalkeeper, your defence, your midfield, your attackers.
Yeah.
Obviously, wingers and fullbacks are probably the areas that we're going to see, and I think we'll be surprised at how little business Leeds will do, and I think it'll get a lot of people's backs up. But I honestly don't. I think they're going to go for continuity over loads of players in. What do you think?
So just on Kamara, I find it personally. I find respectful for what everyone says. I find it wild that people want him gone.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah. I know. Look, we don't want to sell a player just because he don't shoot. That's ridiculous.
Exactly,
Like, come on. Like, yeah, he can shoot, and that's the annoying thing. And he should do it more. He should definitely. And it was annoying me at times. And maybe he will. And if he does, then we've got one of the best midfielders in the league. So we need to be careful with this. Because look at the team who wants him. Look where they're playing in France.
Yeah.
Let's be sensible. We're very.
And he had I didn't know, bro, but it's in that article. He could have gone there last summer, you know.
Yeah.
And went to Leeds in the Championship. So. You know?
And again, acclimatising to the league, the situation you're in, the club, it takes a while. We have to be careful. If we lose Glenn Kamara, the player we bring in will not be as good as Glenn Kamara. He might be a different role that's more exciting. He might get forward a bit more, but he won't be a better player than Glenn Kamara. So let's be careful. We can add to that. I want El Zate, who's now a free agent, who was at Brighton, who started Liège last season on loan. I want him. He's similar to like Glenn Kamara, but is a bit more dangerous in the final third. A player like that. Great competition to have. It'll up them both. But
just on this as well, bro. This isn't his game though. Like,
because I remember
he should. But I remember Joe Donahue. This is months back. I think it was Joe Donahue. But they'd actually done some analysis on his record at Rangers, and he also never shot at Rangers. This isn't nothing new. Just Glenn Kamara just doesn't shoot. That's not his thing. For whatever reason, he doesn't shoot. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks kind of thing. So you're probably never going to get that from him. But ultimately, the onus is on others, right? Like, the onus is on others. Kamara is very, very good. And I think people are ready to just bin it off because he doesn't get goals and assists. But it's everything else. Look,
got no goals.
Can I just put?
You know what I mean? Like,
Skip's not coming. Skip's staying at Spurs, people. He's not coming at all. Like, he's not a championship player. They also need him for their quarter in Europe.
Yeah.
Oliver Skip, just put it to bed, people. I promise you. He's not coming on loan as well. Definitely not.
We need to be careful, Joe, because it's not a video game. I know, like, see people saying he won't get any better. He will. He'll get better in this side. He won't become a better footballer. This is how good he is. But you can make him more effective. You can do that. Yeah. A lot of that is the team around these players as well. He's a central midfielder. He needs movement around him. It's about the movement around him. So we've got to be careful. Want to sell everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan telling me that Glenn scored 6 goals. That was between 2019 and 2023. So it's not a lot, is it? Is it one a season? That maybe 1.5 a season. It's not great, is it?
Well, that's him.
Yeah,
and that's why we need. That's why we need the type of 10 who can do that stuff. So we're not relying on Glenn Kamara to do that stuff. So, but I still agree. There is times where he should shoot more. There is maybe 1 or 2 times in a game where he just doesn't, and it's like, well, just do it. It's right there. But I think he's a great footballer. I really do.
Yeah, same, mate. What about us rejecting Llorente? The initial reaction, everyone going, "Why have we rejected? Sell him!" But my thought process goes, "That's good, because that means the club are in a better financial position because they're saying that's not what we want. We told you what we want. Now give us what we want." I think it's a strong position to be in to do that.
It is, but we're not mugs. We're not. Dealing with these teams, and then they try and pull a fast one, and we're going, all right. We're going, no, come on here. This is the deal. Do the deal. It'll still go, I think. Yeah. But look, that's the position we're in. I like that. That's good. We can be stubborn with these guys because we don't need to sell necessarily. But look, I remember you just mentioned there, Joe. I didn't talk about it. Brain, 1 second. After the Kamara thing, you mentioned something else. That's it, about 1 in, 1 out policy, that we talked about in the article. So that is interesting. I think, like you said, continuity is big. That is important. Mm-hmm. And again, Rodon coming back, I'm so happy with that. I'm genuinely so happy with that. Pascal will be back as well. Great. Even I know you're a bit thing on Connor Roberts, but I think as a solid option, good. With Rodon there, build that back.
I think it's going to happen as well with the Rodon. Right. I think it will.
There's probably more exciting fullbacks out there who will get more goals, assists, get forward more. But I think a full pre-season under him, he was very good 2 years ago in the Championship, mate. Very good, very good fullback. He got a lot of assists as well in that league. I think he got like 10, something like that assists. So I think if we did, he'd be better. I do. I think there's more to him there.
Full pre-season.
Didn't get in the side. Archer was playing really well. He was never going to drop him for Archie. Came in January. It's tough in January. But I think the 1 in, 1 out thing's interesting because that sounds bad, but when you think about it, that means you're keeping most of your players. So if you lose Somerville, you'll bring someone in for him. the adding really needs to come around some of the bench players that might leave, go on loan.
Yeah.
I think that's what. Yeah. So say, for example,
well, JB's gone, hasn't he? You're looking at Gnonto, Sam Greenwood's still here as well now.
One of them goes out, so a Joffrey goes out, for example. Then you bring someone in, maybe who can play a bit more than Joffrey. So it's kind of upping that kind of middle ground of the squad. But again, we've got Aronson as well in there. Just looking at the squad here, there's still 3 strikers to work with there.
Yeah.
There needs to be a little more depth for sure. I think CDM.
Would you like a new striker, mate?
I'm so split on this one. I am, because we have 3 and they're all good at different things, but together, Bamford,
none of them are leaving, have they? Regardless of what reports are saying, no one's buying them.
No, that's it. You've got Perot, who's a finisher. That he scored goals, even though he wasn't great last season by any means. He scored goals. Joseph, who is the young one, the talent, who could have a blow-up season.
Yeah, exactly.
He could. Yeah. And then you got Bamford, the experience, who what everyone says. Yeah.
Don't say that name. Everyone will go mental, mate.
Yeah, I know. People. Yeah. But you've got 3 players there.
Yeah.
You bring a 4th in, that really does affect Joseph. I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
If he's at the top of that pecking order now, a new one comes in.
One needs to go, doesn't there? One needs to go in order for us to bring one in.
I think so. And I don't think they will this year. So, probably leave that for now. Maybe it's something later on in the window again that we look at. Maybe there's some injuries there that happened in pre-season. But I think, striker's all right. I'm assuming Joseph has a big season. I am. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Mate. I think he'd have had one last season.
Yeah,
but he got injured. He got injured, man.
So I'm excited about that. I want a bit more in midfield. Kamara's our only 8. Now Archie's gone. Yeah. That's interesting, because I know Graham said, didn't he, 1 in, 1 out. But with Archie Gray, the midfielder, he said, leaving. So is that a way, maybe
it will be interesting. It looks like Liam. Well, listen, Team Talk have broke it. You don't now rely. Well, they're not very reliable. Okay. But I think we all think that Cooper's probably not going to sign, because he'd have signed by now. It's now the 3rd. He's out of contract. Looks like time's up, eh?
Yeah, Coops will go somewhere. Hopefully he goes somewhere decent Championship. I still think he will. People, that's what's hilarious.
I think he could go Sheffield United or something. They've got financial issues coming out of
Wednesday, so. Somewhere like that. Somewhere local, I think. It's hilarious, because people obviously rate our players like they're terrible. Apparently Shaq will go to League 2 and he's been linked with Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Ayling was League 2. He went to Middlesbrough, a promotion chasing Championship side. Lee Cooper will do the same. Like he will, I think. I don't know. Let's see what happens. But if he does go again, I'm looking at our back. We've got 2 centre backs. So that's what I mean. Well, Creswell, but we're led to believe that he won't be part of it as well. Isn't he? Yeah. So we don't have anyone. We have Laporta White from the 21s, who's I think is really good, but he's very young and you don't want to put pressure on him. So you need centre backs as well, mate. Definitely.
We do. Yeah, we will do. Won't we? If Cooper leaves and
do that, do we?
Yeah, no, we don't want that. Definitely not. Yeah, we don't want that.
Do you think he'll leave? Do you think he's leaving then? Do you think Cooper will go?
Yeah, Cooper will go. Yeah. I think Cooper will go, because, he'd have signed.
Woba.
Max Wober's not staying, man.
I
think Rasmus could. I think Rasmus could, by the way, and they could also look at him as an option at right centre back to cover 2 positions.
Yeah. Look, if it's depth,
I can't stand him,
good, but fine. Depth. We need depth. We don't have it. We literally have no right backs currently. So bring Roberts in. Good. If Roberts gets injured, whatever, Rasmus has to come in for a few games. He'll be all right at this level. He will. Let's be honest. He'll be fine. Yeah. He'll do his thing. He'll be fine. So, and we need depth, mate. That's a key thing. That's why we can't be quick to sell all these players. We need depth and competition. Do you know what I mean? So,
do you know what as well, right? And I can't stand him.
Go on.
But I don't mind the idea of Rasmus on the bench, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
As a backup to right back and to right centre back.
Yeah, it's fine. Look, he was at Roma.
With Roberts starting, you've got Christensen on the bench who can cover 2 positions, and then you've got Byram as well.
They're good backups. They're all right.
100%. You probably need another. He might see Ampadu and Strauch all right, and then have a look for a left back that can play 2 positions, i.e. Jordan Torner, because.
If we got
Firpo, I don't know what's happening with Firpo, because he's got the Dominican Republic, but he turned up for training yesterday.
Yeah. Do you know what it is with Firpo though? You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out here. I actually don't know. But you think because I remember when he went, the thing with Firpo is he's more. Sorry, Matteo Joseph didn't let him go because he's young and he needs to learn his role and he needs to fight for his place. You think it's a matter of Firpo comes back, he knows what he needs to do, he knows the role, he knows the job, he'll be fine, he'll go straight back in. You think that might be in Varka's thinking? To kind of say, look, if you want to go, you know your role anyway. It's the same as last year. Maybe. You're an experienced player, you'll come back in. Do you think maybe, but with Joseph, it's a bit different because he's younger?
Possibly, yeah. Maybe. You might be right, mate.
Yeah, know.
you could be bang on there. To be fair, Andy Rose says Olympics 5 weeks away. Oh, that's probably why he's come in. Then my bad, but he's going to miss the start of the season. Then, isn't he? And
it's not ideal, is it?
No, it's definitely not.
We'll see on that one. I think one to watch maybe.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, obviously, as well, and this is just off the top of my head because I keep seeing people mention it in the chat. People keep mentioning Callum O'Hare. Of course, you would like him, but I keep seeing like Leicester being linked and other clubs. I just feel he'll go to the Premier League for clubs that you know he could even rock up at somewhere like a Brentford. You know that you know. Yeah,
as a free agent.
Yeah,
Callum O'Hare, he was really good a few years ago. He had a bad injury spell. He was really good a few years ago. For Coventry, and he had a bad injury spell and obviously came back last year and was decent when he came back. So that's not the best Callum O'Hare either. There is a better player there than there was last year. Premier teams know that. He's been around the England setup for a few years now, you know, in terms of the league. So, yeah, I'm on a 3, mate. You'll have many Premier League clubs that'll like him part of their squad, definitely.
Yeah.
But if we could, I'd be very excited with that. Don't get me wrong, I would.
Yeah.
But there's a guy in Spain I've been looking at who's also a free agent who's very similar to Callum O'Hare that I think we could get. So, but we want a 10, don't we, as it's believed. Do. So there's a few there that I think we could go for. But I'd like him. I'd like him a lot.
Tom, I said this when we did the free video, Shandon Baptiste. I don't know what's actually happened with him. I don't know if he's found.
Don't mind him as an option.
Yeah,
probably not a starter, but a good squad option. I think he'd be all right.
I don't know where. Let's have a look. Has anything actually happened? Because I know he left. Luton are in advanced talks to sign him. That was just 3 hours ago. So it looks like he's going to Luton. There you go. So could already have.
And the thing with I just want to mention, you know, the thing with Firpo as well. So Harrison Burrows, who's at Peterborough, it looks like he's got a Sheffield United, and I'm convinced if we wanted a left back, we'd have gone in for him straight away. I'm convinced of that. So because he just he's very similar to what Firpo is. He's a very good attacker, not amazing defensively, but he's got a lot of potential. Good player, would work in our system 100%. And you know, Peterborough played possession style and stuff like that. So I'm convinced because of that. Actually, I think unless we've got a different target, you know, I think he does stay Firpo because of that. I really do.
Ronnie Edwards has gone.
Ronnie Edwards,
Southampton. Southampton, Annie. So that's that one. Because I know a lot of people wanted him. So he's gone. Charlie Taylor's gone to Southampton as well. I'm just trying to think of other players that we might have like mentioned or gone through. But yeah. Listen, there has been a lot of. There has been, to say it's only the 3rd, there's been a lot of news, hasn't there? There has been a lot of news, and I just feel that it's going to ramp up even more soon, especially when we start.
Stuff happening. I think Leeds are just maybe trying to figure out who wants to stay, who wants to go in the next few days. Yeah.
That's what they'll be having them convos now, won't they? In training and that, saying, look, what's going on? Because sometimes the club will be the second to hear because the agent will be talking to the player first, and then you need to speak to the player, don't you? And be like, right, what's going on here, bro? You know, like, are you staying? Are you going or what? So,
as long as with any player that might leave, apart from Rutter, as long as we're prepared and ready, I'm all right with it.
Which the club and the powers that be have no excuses now, Lockett, because we've got a full pre-season. They're well aware of it and all that, and they told us that themselves.
Right, they told us that themselves. Every fan said last year, if we don't go up, we'll lose this player. So it was all the fans knew we'd lose this player, so the club obviously are aware that this player will go. So mate, it's going to be. How many do you think we get in? Assuming we lose 4. Both. We lose some of 4. Them.
I think 4's a good number.
So that's
just off the top of my head. That's not including Rodon. Another
5
4
altogether. I'd be all right with that, I think.
Yeah, 4.
Assuming we.
I don't know where they are. Just minimum that is, by the way.
Yeah, I think we'll get replacements for both of them. I do think that. I do think we'll get an 8, and I think we get a 10 and a centre back. And Roberts, so 5.
5 on top of Rodon, yeah, 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Because there's good free agents out there too. I talk about El Zate as free agent. That's good business. You're not costing you a lot of money. So
like,
we'll see.
Jamie, how many do you expect then, people in the chat? How many do you realistically? You're not saying like 10, are you? Like, I don't know.
Assuming we lose Somerville and Gnonto, right?
Yeah, you replace them. Yeah. That's fine. 1 in, 1 out. But I'm just talking like on top of what we've already got, I think 4 minimum. You know?
Yeah. Well, assuming we lose Creswell as well, that'll be replaced 100%.
Yeah. We got 4 to 6.
We need a right back.
67, 5, 8. It's a lot, man. I
8
feel
minimum.
it's a lot.
8 minimum.
I know, yeah. It's almost a full squad. 11. This is the guy that didn't rate Rutter, by the way. He doesn't rate Rutter at all. Mad. If we lose Shaq, see, Vic, though, we will lose Shaq. He's gone, but I think Rasmus might be that option there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? You know, we will wait and see. I know you've got to go for your run, mate, and I need to go to bed because I'm absolutely knackered, so we will leave it there. Lockie, have you got anything on your channel that people can have a look at?
There'll be a video tomorrow, and it will be Archie replacement. So, in other words, a right back. What right backs we could sign, that'll be coming out tomorrow. And then in a few days, there'll be the number 10 talk. I'll do a video on number 10s.
Nice. And we are sorting the scouting report soon, folks. It's coming. It is coming, I promise you. It'll be one night next week, maybe, hopefully. Yeah. We will be there. We're sorting it out. But thanks always for watching. Check out Lucky Leeds. Thanks. Smash a like on your way out. I'll be back probably tomorrow because I just feel that there's going to be news after news over these next coming days. So keep your eyes peeled.
Finally after June, eh? Finally.
Yeah. It was horrible, weren't it, June?
It was rough, mate.
Aye. Oh, have you seen England, by the way? They've been training with a back 3. So I think what they're going to do is put Trent in at right wing back and have Kyle Walker, Stones, and then Konza because Guehi's suspended. And then at left wing back, they play Saka. What do you reckon?
I'm all right with that. Bit of change. Same. I don't mind it.
Yeah. Saka left wing back.
Be great.
I think it'll be.
So is that what with maybe a front 2 then? Maybe with back.
Possibly, yeah. He might go Tony and Kane, might you? Ooh. Might go Tony and Kane.
We'll see. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Interesting though. We'll see. Stone's carrying an injury, is he, Andrew? There you go. But I think
he's
the back 3 that
I've
seen, I know. When it's been released that they were training with the back 3, the 3 that were pictured were Stones, Walker, and Konza. So I think it'll be them 3 with Trent and Saka. I think, and that could work. You know, that could work. Neither do I, mate.
Yeah.
Nah. Will he go then? What will he do in midfield? Will it be 5-3-2, or do you 5-2-3?
Could be either, mate. So you could have 2 up top.
I think I go 5-2 in midfield of Bellingham, Rice.
Yeah.
Then 3 with probably Foden, Kane, Palmer.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And then the width will come in from the fullbacks, won't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously our wingers are inverted.
Yeah. Because then that would allow Cole Palmer and Foden to come in if you've got Saka and Trent on either side.
It would be up naturally anyway, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Don't mind that. I'm interested now. You got me a bit more interested. Old 4-4-2.
Thomas, if you are a Spurs fan, thank you for subscribing. Yes, he's worth every penny.
Oh yeah.
And he will. Yeah. You will see.
He's not a 6, by the way, Thomas. If you are a Spurs fan, all Spurs fans saying he's a 6. He's not.
No,
he's not a 6. He's an 8, 100%, or a right back.
Yeah. I think he will play right back, invert into midfield, and he'll boss it. And I think he'll get goals, he'll get assists, and I'm excited to see him in a Spurs shirt.
Me too, mate.
As much as that pains me, I'm actually excited to see him under Ange, definitely.
Right,
we'll leave it there. Have a nice evening, folks. Bye bye.